life can smack you clearly off your feet. That's just part of life. But I just think if you keep holding on to God and trusting Him,
Yes.
He has a way. And
Yes, he
through it
does.
all, He's using every one of these situations
That's
to
right.
build you. In some way along the way, He's going to use that situation so that you're going to be able to leap into your next season, and you're going
Mm,
to be able to bless other people
that's
that are
right.
going to be where you were. And you're going to
Absolutely.
have the victory in the end. I'm going to say amen to myself.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Welcome. I'm Sheila M., an empowerment coach at Sheila M. Coaching.
And I'm Regina Barbour, marriage and family coach at Godworks Coaching.
A special shout out to our first time viewers. We're so glad that you're here and joining us today. Well, welcome to When Love Isn't Enough Talk. What we do here is we prepare you for what it takes to have a thriving relationship. We help those adjust current relationship missteps, and we help you to clarify if the relationship that you're in is good for your heart and your future. So let's get started.
Today, we're going to explore real life stories, practical strategies, and when it may be time to take a break, separate, or even walk away.
Sarah and Michael thought love would carry them through anything. But when the layoff came, so did the tension. Past due and cutoff notices came in the mail almost every day. Feeling not heard, quiet dinners, sleepless nights, and frustration, and arguing constantly. Love brought them together, but life was testing what they built. When the winds begin to blow, can your love survive the storm? Let's go deeper into Sarah and Michael's financial struggles. Let me share a passage within the book. Take the story of Sarah and Michael. They had been married for 3 years when Michael lost his job unexpectedly. Initially, they tried to stay positive, believing that love and patience would see them through this tough time. But as the weeks turned into months, the stress began to mount. Michael felt ashamed of his unemployment, while Sarah became increasingly worried about their financial future. Instead of discussing their fears and supporting each other, they started arguing. Every minor disagreement became a trigger for their mounting frustrations. Sarah and Michael's love for each other hadn't changed, but the pressures they faced exposed weaknesses in the communication and their ability to support one another. Their financial storm symbolized more profound issues. Michael struggled to express his vulnerability, and Sarah felt overwhelmed by the responsibility of holding the family together. Their love was strong, but it wasn't enough on its own to guide them through this challenging season. This is often how challenges reveal deeper issues in relationships. A financial crisis, a health scare, a career setback, or even a personal crisis can uncover patterns of behavior that have been hidden or ignored. In Sarah and Michael's case, the storm exposed their communication and emotional support struggles. What was once a seemingly minor issue, their inability to discuss fears openly grew into a more significant problem that threatened to pull them apart. Regina, what are your thoughts on that one?
Challenges often magnify the underlying issues that are already existing in the relationship. So the storm doesn't necessarily create the cracks, they just reveal them. There's a saying that says crisis comes to reveal the cracks in our lives. So they come to reveal what's already there.
Marie and Jacob never imagined their vows would be tested so soon. But when illness came, so did the fear. In the quiet hum of hospital lights, they didn't just hold hands, they held on to faith. Prayer replaced panic, the Bible was their action plan, and love grew through their vulnerability. Faith didn't take away the storm, but it sheltered them inside it. They didn't just survive the moment, they became stronger because of it. When life brings the unthinkable, will your faith hold you together or pull you apart? So, as we look at this story of faith and resilience with Maria and Jacob, we see that faith turns trials into opportunities for growth. And as we look at their situation, and I think especially as we're trusting in God, it's so many different situations. We have a choice of how we approach situations. And we can look at everything that can go wrong, or we can look at what can go right, or what are the positive outcomes, and how can we make the best of the situation that we have. And I just know that I can't go wrong in trusting in God. He never fails. Now, honestly, his decisions aren't always mine. I wish he would kind of side with me more, but that's just not how the world works. But in trusting in him, I know that he always has my heart and my best interest. But in a relationship, how can we join as partners and merge our faith together to make it through these difficult times? For me, I think it's, again, as you're coming together as a team, one day I might be 30, and then I need you to be that, what's 30? 70. I need you to be the 70%. And then I'll be the 90 when you're a 10. But whatever, we've got to cover each other and make sure that we're standing strong, because, the enemy fights, and, he's not coming to disable us. He's coming to destroy us. And whether that's through lacking faith, whether that's sickness in our body, whether that's making us doubt God, doubt things that are happening in our lives, think that it's over, putting ridiculous things in our minds. He's finding those weak, open spots, and he's coming for us. And so I think uniting as a force, I tell my partner, all the time, we're not fighting each other, we're fighting the enemy. Because we join forces, we're one. We want to win. And so I think that faith and resilience stand strong as long as we're trusting and putting our faith in God. When we lean on our own understanding, we got to know that we're going to fail. And it's not going to come out on our best interest.
That's right. Sheila, trials can make us bitter, or we can use them to make us better.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like a corny saying, but it's a reality.
That's right.
My husband and I went through some horrible seasons, and we were bitter. We were bitter going through everything we went through, but we both chose to allow God to bring some good out of it, and now we're both better today because of that.
Amen. I can really remember some times where if you were going through something, you could kind of be made to feel like there was something wrong with you. You know, like you were in the wrong place with your relationship with God. But no, serving God, people have people have lost their lives. Life is just difficult.
That's right.
Things happen. And it doesn't matter whether you're good, bad,
That's
cute,
right.
ugly, whatever. Life can smack you clearly off your feet. That's just part of life. But I just think if you keep holding on to God and trusting Him, He has a way. And
Yes, he
through
does.
it all, He's using every one of these situations to build you. In some way along the way, He's going to use that situation so that you're going to be able to leap into your next season, and you're going to be able to bless other people.
That's right.
And be where you were.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have the victory in the end. I'm going to say amen to myself.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I hope you're ready. If you're new, get your pen and your paper out or open up your phones to your notes because we got some tips for you. Right? It's not about just hearing and listening.
Right.
But you've got to jot things down. And then these tips, again, don't let them collect dust. I don't know how you collect dust in a digital notepad. But don't just ignore them and let them build up. But go back regularly and see how you can implement these in your life. Because again, we're trying to have thriving relationships, right? Those relationships that make you happy, fulfilled, and complete, and that please God. Practical tip for weathering storms. Number 1 is your pens and your paper yet. Don't make me have to come check you out. Make sure you doing it right. Tip number 1, communicate openly.
We must not do life alone. Do not suffer in silence. Silence will create a distance between you and your partner, and it can destroy a relationship. And that's where honest communication comes in. When you take time and realize we have to work through this, be honest, share how you're feeling, what's going on, that's what builds bridges. And really, it's through the hard conversations and the hard places that builds true intimacy in the relationship.
That's right. Tip number 2, lean on faith.
Faith provides strength and perspective in a way that will be phenomenal. When your strength is gone, the Lord said He will never leave you nor forsake you. So when you come together with your partner and pray together, invite God in. When you come reading the scriptures, invite Him in. He's a gentleman. He's not going to violate and just force his way in. But when you invite Jesus in, He will be that third cord and get you and your partner through your trying times.
The tip number 4, seek outside support.
There's no shame in seeking help. A fresh perspective can make all the difference. As I continue to say, we were not meant to do life alone. It's okay to go to counseling. It's okay to seek out ministerial support. It's okay to bring close friends that can support you during this time. As we say in counseling, there are 2 groups of people, those in counseling and those who need to be in counseling. Seek out help.
Right. All right, drum roll. Last but not least, tip number 5, practice patience.
Growth takes time. It takes time to grow. And the only way we can grow is through having patience. Growth takes time. Patience allows space for healing to occur, and it allows time for understanding to unfold. So be patient. Be patient with your partner, and be patient with yourself, and most of all, be patient with God.
Yeah, you can't make it all about yourself, putting pressures on others. because you yourself can create conflict and chaos in a situation, elevating anger and disagreements in relationships that didn't even need to exist. And then in you pushing things, things don't even come out the way that you want them to. And it's really all because you made it about you. So get out your head, stop thinking about yourself, and just learn how to be patient. And then let God take the wheel. Even if you're not, a Christian or a believer, trust God that the process will take care of itself and it can't always be about you. Consider that other person and things will work out better.
That's right.
So, this is a pre recorded show. So, we don't have the opportunity to interact with you live, but we want to have engagement. We want to know what's going on in your life, what's happening. And so, we come up with 2 engagement questions every week. And so, our desire is for you to interact with us in the comments. And so, we're creeping, we're reading those comments, and we promise that we're going to respond. And so, for me, the first question this week is, what's been your biggest challenge as a couple? And what did you do to face it? So make sure, share your experience with us. You never know who hears it, how it might help them, and then we can chat about it in the comments. So Regina, what's your question?
My question to you all is, when life gets tough, do you lean more on communication, external support, or faith? Again, when life gets tough, do you lean more on communication, external support, or faith? Let us know which one you lean on the most and be honest.
See, I saw that kind of communication move you did there. How you repeated what you said to try to ensure that the hearer heard what you were saying. I got that. Yes, I think that's going to be good answers coming from that. And yeah, be honest. We want to know. We want to know. All right. So thank you for joining us. As we begin to wrap up, want to share that storms will come. They gonna come. I don't care who you are. Even if you're held up in your house, you're a person who don't like to come outside, a storm is gonna whittle its way right in your door. So they're coming. But with faith, communication, and teamwork, they can strengthen your bond and your relationship rather than break it.
That's good. Remember, it's not the storm itself, but it's how the two of you face the storm that matters. And remember, crisis comes to reveal the cracks in our lives. You don't want to miss the next episode. We will be talking about forgiveness and rebuilding trust after the storm. You don't want to miss this episode.
Now, make sure that you follow us, subscribe, and share. We want to make sure that more and more people get to hear about the good news. There's a whole lot of noise out there, but we're providing proven strategies and tips that can really help you create. If you'd like to contact me, Sheila M. of Sheila M. Coaching,
or Regina Barbour at Godworks Coaching,
look below for our contact information. Okay, well, you have a phenomenal week, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
See you with our next episode. Blessings.
The ebook and digital workbook is available on SheilaMCoaching.com.